Hi, my name is Maria Pramo, and I'm here with Mr. Roth to talk about Freshman Academy. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. So what is Freshman Academy?
In a nutshell, the Freshman Academy is going to be a higher level of supports that we can offer to all of our incoming freshmen.
Okay.
Ninth grade is the toughest year, kindergarten to 12th grade, not in Norristown, across the nation.
Yeah.
It's a big transition at a time where you're going through transitions in every facet of your life. And so it's really on us to make sure that we can support you through that.
All right, and is this for the next year's freshman class?
Correct.
Okay, and how will this affect the whole school?
Honestly, for most of the school, it won't make a whole lot of difference.
Okay.
Things won't look any different here. I think the impact will be that we will be able to help freshmen identify and work on struggles a little sooner.
Okay.
So maybe everyone else will, see a more productive, they're already productive,
Yeah.
but see a more successful freshman class, which will have a great benefit for the school.
And how is this going to benefit the freshmen? What's going to happen in the program?
So one of the things with freshmen that we know is that there are students that we as adults, we get to know them very quickly, right?
Yeah.
I say all the time, kind of hypothetically, if you were a freshman and you were in the main lobby of the school and you kind of had a meltdown, right?
Yeah.
It would be very visible. And so you would get a lot of people coming out, working with you, helping you, and they would talk to you and they would get to see that even though you had a meltdown, you're this great person
Yeah.
with a lot of potential, and we would help you to maximize that potential.
Okay.
But not every student has that struggle that's so visible. And sometimes there are students that, they struggle to achieve good grades, they fail ninth grade, but they do it very quietly.
Okay.
We want to catch those students before they slip quietly through the cracks, because we know that if you fail your freshman year of high school, nationally speaking, you have a 70% chance of dropping out of high school.
Wow. And who came up with the idea, or how did it come about?
Freshman academies are everywhere.
Okay.
And they really have been a big thing in schools for probably about the past 20 years.
Okay.
There's been a freshman academy here before.
Okay.
It went away long before I got here and you got here. And just like anything else, we don't just want to go back to what we did years ago. We want to make sure that we're fine-tuning it. I have experience with this in other places as well, but we're not going to do it the same way that I did it there either, because we have to make it Norristown specific, because our strengths and our weaknesses are different than every other school.
Yeah. And are there specific teachers being assigned to the academy?
So we're still working on that.
Okay.
We have had a great amount of input from a great group of teachers who've been meeting with us on a bi-weekly basis to talk about everything from what academic and behavioral expectations we want to set to what supports we're going to put in place. In a nutshell, I want to make sure that we have the best teachers possible for that freshman experience.
Yeah.
There are schools that you kind of work your way out of teaching freshmen, right? It's like you put in your time and you move on.
Yeah.
But not here, and I think that's a credit to the faculty here. We have a lot of very veteran, very successful teachers who are interested in making this work.
All right. And are the students going to be physically separated from the rest of the school, or still in the same building?
They're still going to be here. There's not going to be like a separate freshman wing or a separate freshman floor. So it'll kind of be woven throughout the school. What will be different is that the freshmen will be teamed. So while it won't look like a middle school team, it'll have the support of a middle school team. And what I mean by that is when you start your day, you go to first period, and then you and every student in your first period, you go off to probably 15 different classrooms.
Yeah.
So if you're having a great day, I, as your first period teacher, don't know who you're going off to say, hey, she's having a really great day, keep it going.
Okay.
And if you're that student who always does your homework, but it's the second day in a row that you didn't do your homework and it's like a big red flag for me, I'd like to be able to touch base with the rest of your teachers to see what's going on, see how we can help. When I know that you're going to a small group of teachers, I can communicate with them a lot. In turn, we can communicate with you a lot. And we can communicate with your family a lot. So that way, the issues don't snowball. We all have a bad day. I have them. I'm going to assume you have a couple. We just want to be able to help freshmen identify those bad days and turn it around before it gets to be overwhelming.
All right. And what has been the process by which you have developed the academy?
So we've really talked a lot about what has happened here in the past. It's important to know what has worked here, what has not worked here. We've also looked at what's worked and not worked in other places. And then we've done a lot of analyzing academic data, behavioral data. We want to look at attendance data. Numbers can be kind of boring. Don't tell your math teacher I said that. But they're really important, and they tell us great stories to see where we need help and where we don't need help.
Right.
So the work really has been doing a lot of analysis and coming together as a group to develop a vision for what we want this to look like, including down the road how upperclassmen can be a part of the process.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think this is something that's going to be exciting for our school, and I think if we do it right, it might not be the most visible thing that happens in the school, but long term we're going to see a rise in GPA, we're going to see a rise in attendance rate, and we're going to get more people walking across that stage getting a diploma in their 4th year of high school.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with us. My name is Myron Paramo, and I talked with Mr. Roth about the Freshman Academy. Now back to our hosts.